Tonight on UC Sports, a former star of Yukon basketball's past gets inducted into Huskies of Honor. Plus, Gino and the women's squad inch closer towards history.
Plus, men's and women's hockey seasons are in full swing on the ice, and we have news on Yukon standout Morgan Tuck. So you don't want to miss what we have on that, all in this live edition of UC Sports coming at you right now. Welcome to the main event here in stores. That's right, the first live edition of UC Sports on the 2016 year, only on UCTV Channel 14, alongside the ever so dapper Anthony DiBernardo. I'm the slightly above average Hector Molina, and we hope you enjoyed your Valentine's Day.
I know I did. We had a great weekend. A lot of stuff going on Valentine's Day. On average, $13.2 billion is spent annually by people on Valentine's Day.
It's pricey.
Gifts, dates, flowers, over 180 million cards are exchanged. There's plenty of numbers that we can throw out. But I think the most important number for February 14th this year is the number 61. 61, the number of consecutive wins the Yukon women's basketball team has after Sunday's win over the Temple Owls, final score 85-60. Senior forward Brianna Stewart led the way with a near triple-double, 24 points, 8 boards, 7 assists. And on Sunday, she was crowned the AAC Conference Player of the Week. Yukon has now won all of its games dating back to November 17, 2014, when Yukon lost to Stanford in overtime. Since then, 61 games, all wins. That's good for third all-time in NCAA women's history, also third all-time in Yukon women's history. Their next game is Wednesday, February 17th against the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Now over to the wild ride that has been the Yukon men's basketball team. At times this season, the Huskies have looked great, playing with high levels of efficiency and solid team chemistry. However, there have been times where the Huskies have been victims of beating themselves, losing many close games in the final minutes. Following a tough loss at Temple, it was unsure of which pack of Huskies we were going to see this past Saturday against Tulsa. The Huskies came out strong in this contest, stretching the floor and shooting well from the outside. Yukon struggled to hold a lead for the second straight game, but didn't let this one get away as they came out on top against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane with a final score of 75-73. Senior swingman Omar Calhoun proved he knew how to dial from long distance, knocking down 4 3-pointers in part of his 14-point performance that led all scorers, along with point guard Sterling Gibbs, who also chipped in 14 for the Huskies. The Huskies look for smooth sailing here on out in their next game as they take on SMU. Husky fans, you won't want to miss this one. The Huskies look to avenge last year's loss in the AAC Conference Championship, where SMU came out on top. Tip-off is scheduled for 8 p.m. at the XL Center. Now, this upcoming game has great significance toward the AAC Conference standings. Yukon sits in 4th place with only a game and a half separating themselves from the top spot. SMU currently sits in 2nd place, being only a half game behind Temple in the standings. With the win and some help from other teams in the American, the Huskies could very well find themselves getting closer to that top spot.
Kemba Walker, Shabazz Napier, Emeka Okafor, Ray Allen, Rip Hamilton, Rudy Gay, Coney Thompson, Jim Calhoun. These are some of the legendary names that have passed through Yukon's prestigious basketball program. Eventually, they made it onto the Huskies of Honor. This past Saturday, though, that list grew by one name, as Caron Butler was honored as the newest member of this elite group of Husky legends. Butler, a mainstay on the Yukon roster from 2000 to 2002, his best season for the Huskies was in 2002 when he won Big East Player of the Year, averaging 20 points per game. Butler is now an NBA veteran of over 13 seasons, a 2-time All-Star, and was part of that 2011 NBA championship team of the Dallas Mavericks.
My children, children in my family, because the examples that I had and the role models that I had was different people. It was people that was running the streets doing different things. It's real rewarding and it's real, self-gratifying to see people say, I look up to you. Because you did that, I feel like I can do this. So that's special to me and it means a lot. And I'm going to continue to break down walls and barriers. just supporting me through the ups and downs and embracing me with open arms and letting me be a part of this family. My brothers, Ray, Rip, Donnell, Donnie, the whole crew. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. To, going to your campus dorm room and, late night shooting and the preparation or, your first moments on this campus in which, you see your big brother Ray Allen, Jesus Shuttleworth, in the summer, in the off season, coming in like he's walking on water. And, just like, man, that's what I look up to. That's what I want to be, to be able to carry that legacy. All those moments just real vivid in my mind. It just stood out. I had so much to say, but I had to make it short and sweet.
Couple quick questions. When's the last time you were here?
It had to be like 3 years. Me and my wife actually, we came, unattended and unannounced, one time we just came down and it's kind of like a date. We got a house out in New Haven. And we just rode around the campus and just talked about old times. And it was special. Just reflecting. It was special. Like I said, in the speech, it was just, a kid that had a checkered past and checkered background and, just trying to prove that my character was worthy of a prestigious university like Connecticut. And, he flew out to Racine, Wisconsin and just took a chance on me. And he told me, once I'm a part of this, you family for life and I believe in you and I'm forever grateful to him and the university.
When UC Sports returns, college hockey is on the rise in stores. Wait until you hear what happened on the ice this past weekend.
And the first pitch for Uconn Softball is coming up sooner than you think. So you don't want to miss what we have on that and what to expect this upcoming season on the Diamond. All that and more after the break. You're watching UC Sports.
You gonna be what you mean. Hey, say what you wanna do with your life. Say.
Welcome back to UC Sports. The Yukon women's hockey team got the brooms out this past weekend as they completed a sweep over Maine after they picked up victories Friday and Saturday with scores of 2-1 and 4-3 respectively. Friday's match was a real nail-biter that went down to overtime to decide this one. Our very own Will Richardson has more.
I'm William Richardson reporting from inside the Fridas Ice Forum when the Yukon women's ice hockey team just faced off against the Maine Black Bears. This game was senior day for Yukon, so they had 7 members of the graduating class of 2016 basically being honored right before the game. Their family and their friends were here to support them. The 7 seniors in this year's graduating class are Brittany Barisov, Cassandra Appella, Allie Hughes, Caitlin Hughes, Margaret Zimmer, who also sang the national anthem, Elaine Chuli, and Leah Barres. This was their day, and Yukon was even able to come out on top by a score of 4-3. You talk about the seniors and what it means to coach Chris McKenzie. Brittany Barisov started off the game. She had the first 2 goals. Both of them were just beautiful, phenomenal shots, and it felt really good for her to get back on the board. The 3rd goal of Yukon was scored by Margaret Zimmer. 4th goal scored on a power play by Kelly Harris. And Yukon just looked to be aggressive from the beginning of the game to the end. There was a little scare in the 3rd period where Yukon had a 2-goal lead, and that lead got cut in half to 1. But ultimately, the Huskies were able to come out on top and go above 500 for the first time since about the middle of the season. We were able to talk to Coach Chris McKenzie along with players Elaine Chuli and Brittany Barisov. So let's go ahead and check that out. Brittany, your final regular season game here at home. Today was senior day. What are the emotions like for you today?
They're pretty high, a lot of tears here and there, but it feels great having my family here. I don't live close, so when they can come out and see me play, it's a pretty special feeling.
And you mentioned that your family was here. You had 2 goals in the first period. What was that like for you personally?
I honestly don't know a feeling that can top it, to be honest. It's just everything, and it's so emotional, and you want to win so bad. So it's a big relief off our shoulders when we can get up like that.
So how good does it feel knowing that you got the 2 goals and the team won as well?
Honestly, to get the sweep like that at home, senior weekend, I don't really care who scores, who got an assist, anything. The fact that we could win and pull off a sweep for senior weekend is just phenomenal. It feels awesome.
First things first, senior day, what are the emotions like for you?
Yeah, I tried to keep it even keeled. I just wanted to win, so I was just looking forward to that, and the family part and everything out there was great too.
Now, you got the saves record, so does that feel like a burden off of your shoulders now that you finally got that done?
No, not at all. I didn't even know I got it. She just told me. So I didn't know till like right now.
Well,
But,
I'm glad I got to break the news to you,
yeah,
but
thanks.
congratulations
Thank
on the
you.
record.
Thank you.
2 games left in the season. What are any adjustments that you guys need to make moving forward?
I think we definitely could have played better this weekend. We squeaked 2 wins out, but we need to play better as a team for sure. Just the little details.
Congratulations to you and your team. So today was senior day. What has the senior class meant to you so far?
Well, I think it's a class that, very resilient bunch. They went through a coaching change with us. I appreciate the fact that they've bought into what we're trying to do as a staff, and they've led the way here. Today's an example. They've led the way on the score sheet. They play gritty. They have an offensive touch, and they're team players, and that's kind of what we want to be all about with everyone. But they've kind of led the way.
Talk about performing well. Truly got the saves record in this game. So can you talk about what it's like to have her as a goalkeeper and basically the rock of your defense?
We rely on her almost too much sometimes. I think we really appreciate the effort, and when you know her and you see her every day and how hard she works, you're not surprised at the success she has, and she's set a great example of what a student athlete should be in the classroom, community, and on the ice. I mean, it's just a great athlete, gonna go down as a saves record. I mean, that stuff speaks for itself. So we're happy with her, and we're happy with all our seniors.
So you heard what Brittany Barasoff, Elaine Chuli, and Coach Chris McKenzie had to say. Now, as McKenzie and Chuli mentioned, Chuli is now the all-time Hockey East saves leader. She has 2,144 for her career. So hopefully she's looking to increase that number just a little bit going into the final 2 games of the regular season. And those 2 games will be this upcoming weekend on Saturday and Sunday on the road in New Hampshire. I'm William Richardson, and this is UC Sports.
Now, while the women were taking out the brooms, the men got the brooms taken out on them, as the Yukon men's hockey team was swept by the defending national champion Providence Friars in their home-and-home weekend series. On the road on Saturday, the Huskies were shut out 4-0, but put up more of a fight in front of their home crowd, but it was not enough, falling 3-2. Men's hockey is still finding its footing in the Hockey East. The most competitive conference in college hockey has won 5 of the last 8 national championships. In their second season in the Hockey East, the Huskies have accumulated a 4-10-4 record in conference play. This upcoming weekend, Yukon will have a home-and-home series against Northeastern. Now coming up on UC Sports, Hector will break down the women's lacrosse team in its quest for a Big East championship. Plus, we break down softball as their season has just begun.
Plus, will Morgan Tuck be leaving Yukon? That and more when UC Sports returns. Stay tuned, everybody. This Wednesday, the women's lacrosse team will begin their 6th season under head coach Katie Woods. With a preview of what's to come for women's lax, UC Sports' own Anthony DiBernardo has more.
The Yukon women's lacrosse team is gearing up for another great season here in Stores, and after last season's heartbreaking loss in the Big East Championship, expectations are at an all-time high. The team brings a new brand of leadership, as their senior captains for the upcoming season were picked last December. Those captains are Ali Fazio, Ali Crofts, Shannon Nee, and Lauren Kwasnowski, who head coach Katie Wood says all bring distinct qualities that will only help balance the team.
The one thing that I love about this group is that, a lot of them have been impactful players since the first day they got here. Not always by playing time, but, they came in, this senior class really has set the tone with the extra work, spending some time outside of lacrosse, working on some of those things that they need to work on.
Off the field, we're a really close team. We hang out all the time together. We do pretty much anything off the field together, whether it's hang out, go eat together, go to the movies, anything like that, and it builds a lot of our team chemistry that translate onto the field.
This squad's identity is all about having a balance between strength and speed, power and quickness. The team follows a strong philosophy known as the Husky Way.
Husky musts are stick work, footwork, communication, 50-50 balls, all the little things, what we pride ourselves on. And then the Husky Way is our connection with our teammates, our purpose on the field, our execution. So those are more of the bigger things.
If we can take care of everything we need to do as a team, like sticks, skills, shooting, all that stuff, then we'll get there. We've been there, so now we just have to finish it.
The team will start their season February 17th when they take on Quinnipiac at Sherman Family Complex. For UC Sports, I'm Anthony DiBernardo. Now, this past Friday, Uconn Softball began their season in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, taking on LSU, Ohio State, Northern Florida, and Pacific in the LSU Tiger Classic. The Huskies finished 2-3 on that road trip and will now travel to Boca Raton, Florida for the FAU tournament. And now, finally, we have news on Yukon women's basketball player Morgan Tuck. Now, Morgan Tuck is a redshirt junior. After a few years ago, she broke her leg. Yukon won that national championship. She is technically a senior. There have been rumors swirling that she is eligible for the WNBA draft. She could be moving on to professional basketball. However, a team official released a statement earlier today because a lot of people have been wondering, is she staying? Is she going? She will not be answering any questions. Morgan will be addressing this at the end of the season, but Morgan Tuck coming back for a 5th year could be huge for this Yukon team.
Very huge. I mean, I know, Stewie and Jeff and her, that's the trio. That's the big three. That's Yukon women's big three right there. And even though Stewie and Mo Jeff won't be here next season, I mean, Katie Lou's only going to get better. Sanaya Chong's only going to get better. Gabby Williams has really come into her own this season. And, if she stays, I mean...
And Gino, he's a great recruiter. He's a great coach.
We're only going to have the best recruits come in.
He pulls in the best every single year. But a veteran presence, a senior like Morgan Tuck, who's won 4 national championships technically already as it is, 3, hopefully winning 4 this season, could just be incredible to this veteran presence. Having that kind of leader, but then we're also not denying the fact she is NBA ready. She is a WNBA talent.
Without a doubt.
As an WNBA talent. Yeah. It's pretty obvious. Brianna Stewart is one of the top players in the draft. There's a rumor that she is already being planned to go number 1 overall. The Seattle Storm have the first overall pick in this year's WNBA draft. Should be playing with Sue Bird, former Yukon Husky. That'd be a pretty great matchup. I believe Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis is actually on that team as well, reunited with an old teammate. Mariah Jefferson would be an excellent player in the WNBA. And Morgan Tuck, she's big, she's strong, she does all the little things. She's
very versatile.
She's extremely versatile. Gino Auriemma talks about her versatility. Losing that kind of versatility would be huge, but no doubt we would wish her the best no matter what she does.
No matter what decision she takes.
Absolutely, but she will not be making that decision until after this season, after they get the job done, hopefully in March, bring home 4th straight national championship, number 11 in Gino Auriemma's incredible coaching career. That wraps it up for this edition of UC Sports. For Hector Molina, I'm Anthony DiBernardo. We'll see you guys next time.
Good night.